I follow. The match will start shortly. Thanks for subscribing to iFollow. The match will start shortly. Thanks for subscribing to iFollow. The match will start shortly. Thanks for subscribing to iFollow. The match will start shortly. Thanks for subscribing to iFollow. The match will start shortly. Thanks for subscribing to iFollow. The match will start shortly. Thanks for subscribing to iFollow. The match will start shortly. Thanks for subscribing to iFollow. The match will start shortly. Thanks for subscribing to iFollow. The match will start shortly. Thanks for subscribing to iFollow. The match will start shortly. Thanks for subscribing to iFollow. The match will start shortly. Thanks for subscribing to iFollow. The match will start shortly. Thanks for subscribing to iFollow. The match will start shortly. Thanks for subscribing to iFollow. The match will start shortly. Thanks for subscribing to iFollow. The match will start shortly. Thanks for subscribing to iFollow. The match will start shortly. Thanks for subscribing to iFollow. The match will start shortly. Thanks for subscribing to iFollow. The match will start shortly. Thanks for subscribing to iFollow. The match will start shortly. Thanks for subscribing to iFollow. The match will start shortly. Thanks for subscribing to iFollow. The match will start shortly. Thanks for subscribing to iFollow. The match will start shortly. Thanks for subscribing to iFollow. The match will start shortly. Thanks for subscribing to iFollow. The match will start shortly. Thanks for subscribing to iFollow. The match will start shortly. Thanks for subscribing to iFollow. The match will start shortly. Thanks for subscribing to iFollow. The match will start shortly. We are currently experiencing technical difficulties. Our team are working to resolve and apologise for any inconvenience. We are currently experiencing technical difficulties. Our team are working to resolve and apologise for any inconvenience. We are currently experiencing technical difficulties. Our team are working to resolve and apologise for any inconvenience. We are currently experiencing technical difficulties. Our team are working to resolve and apologise for any inconvenience. We are currently experiencing technical difficulties. Our team are working to resolve and apologise for any inconvenience. We are currently experiencing technical difficulties. Our team are working to resolve and apologise for any inconvenience. We are currently experiencing technical difficulties. Our team are working to resolve and apologise for any inconvenience. We are currently experiencing technical difficulties. Our team are working to resolve and apologise for any inconvenience. We are currently experiencing technical difficulties. Our team are working to resolve and apologise for any inconvenience. We are currently experiencing technical difficulties. Our team are working to resolve and apologise for any inconvenience. We are currently experiencing technical difficulties. Our team are working to resolve and apologise for any inconvenience. We are currently experiencing technical difficulties. Our team are working to resolve and apologise for any inconvenience. We are currently experiencing technical difficulties. Our team are working to resolve and apologise for any inconvenience. We are currently experiencing technical difficulties. Our team are working to resolve and apologise for any.
Having to defend here, Tom Davis, the last man, does well to get his head onto the ball. Now it's Jordan Shipley. Good turn from him for the Stevenage player. Oh, a little flick from Biama straight back to Shipley. And Shipley's, it's almost champagne football there, but Shipley's pass aimed at McNulty was a little overhit and collected by the goalkeeper.
It was a good build-up by the Sky Blues. and just that final pass wasn't a very good one from Biamo.
Yeah, ball played into the Sky Blues half. Is one in the air by Rod McDonald. That'll be a throw into Stevenage, just around the halfway line. Captain Ronnie Henry to take it. His throw finds Mark McKee out to the left-hand side to Jack King. Stevenage playing the ball along the halfway line. It's now even deeper. Luke Wilkinson, the centre half, out to the right to Ronnie Henry. Henry being pressed. The Sky Blues pressing the Stevenage players and getting them to look a little bit anxious and untidy, and eventually they give the ball away. Unfortunately, Rob McDonald was taken a bit by surprise. He knocks the ball straight out. Not the happiest of starts for Chris Coleman in the Championship. Villa 1, Sunderland 0, and Grimsby leads Swindon. Swindon, one of the teams the Sky Blues could overtake tonight, and Grimsby have taken the lead against them. Grimsby 1, Swindon 0. Ryan Haynes tries to clear the ball. It's charged down and goes out for a throw into Coventry City. 0-0 here after about 11 minutes between Stevenage and Coventry City. Third time the Sky Blues have played here. These teams have met 4 times previously, with the Sky Blues having 3 wins, including 2 on this ground. So it's been a happy hunting ground for them so far. Can it be for them tonight? Stevenage have the ball inside their own half. Play it back to their keeper. Stevenage with just 1 win in the last 7 games after a bright start to the season. They were among the early pace setters. Here's Jordan Shipley for Coventry City, but doesn't get that pass quite right, the young man, and it's picked up by Ronnie Henry for Stevenage. Stevenage play a long ball forward. They're so far struggling to make any real impact up front, struggling to get their own fans going. Gained a bit of territory there. The throw in is near the corner flag, but that's all they did.
This Sky Blues are, you have to say, sort of in charge of the game at the moment. They look very comfortable at the back and a threat going forward as well.
So still 0-0. And be Ryan Haynes with a throw in 10 yards from the corner flag. Throws it down the line. It's flicked on by Biamo. McNulty goes down, doesn't get a free kick, and Stevenage have it inside their own half. A long, hopeful ball forward from them. Rod McDonald watches carefully and heads away. It is headed back into the penalty area. The striker couldn't go for it, Matt Godden, because he was offside, but Danny Newton put Tom Davis under pressure, and Davis has had to hit it over the stand roof and out of the ground. New ball arrives. Throw into Stevenage, about 10 yards from the corner flag on their right. Sky Blues fans are now pretty packed in the stand. Just one side of the stand has been kept empty, but it is a pretty full Sky Blues end. The cross from the right from Stevenage, and first sign of any real danger, but Rob McDonald gets a good intervening header in there, and the Sky Blues try and get it away. Michael Doyle trying to find Chip, he doesn't, but the Sky Blues do get a throw in inside their own half, so they dealt with that one well. And Ryan Haynes take the throw in. Throws it to Liam Kelly, and the Kelly's return pass was a bit short. Danny Newton got the end of it, and got a touch which was just a bit too heavy and couldn't get on the end of it. But so Mark Robbins just having a word with Ryan Haynes, who's having a word, discussing something tactical. Whatever it is, hopefully they've sorted that out. It's a goal kick to Coventry City, 0-0. Lee Burr should take it. Yet to be called into any meaningful action. Not that the Stevenage keeper has either. It's one in the air by Jordan Shipley. Max Biamo goes down off the ball and pleads to the referee, who's unimpressed.
3 good headers, one in the air from long balls forward by Lee Burge. So hopefully that's something the Sky Blues can build on.
Ball's bowled out by the Stevenage goalkeeper Joe Fryer. And Stevenage almost give the ball up on the halfway line, but they recover it, and here's Danny Newton for them. Short pass is played out to the left wing. It's a break on here for Stevenage. Plenty of Sky Blues men back. Jody Jones at the moment trying to block the chance of a cross from Joe Martin, and doing a decent job so far. Martin comes into the pass. Strong tackle from Liam Kelly, but Stevenage keep it. They still have it on that left wing, and eventually a corner is conceded as Martin's cross is blocked. First corner of the game for Stevenage.
Looks to be a bit of a threat down that left-hand side for Stevenage, with Joe Martin getting forward as well, and Tom Pett. But something the Sky Blues, Jordan Willis and Jody Jones have got to talk to each other about and get on top of.
It's corner from the left. And the away swinger is a dangerous one, and Jordan Willis just got his head to it as Stevenage players were looking to attack it. Matt and Godden in particular was close to it. Another corner, but that was a good delivery.
Very good delivery, and just one Stevenage player didn't seem to jump for it when he looked to have a free header.
A similar sort of attempted delivery. They're not quite enough on it this time, and Liam Kelly's able to head it away. So Joe Martin taking these corners from the left-hand side and looking to have a decent delivery is the left back. Summer signing from Millwall. Has played against the Sky Blues on 4 previous occasions, once for Millwall and 3 for Gillingham, one of their more experienced players, and clearly a threat from set pieces. But this time he's conceded a throw-in. Sky Blues have a throw deep inside their own half, a level with their own penalty area. 0-0. Mark Robbins leaning against the dugout. I was about to say he might be reasonably pleased the way things are going. He won't be pleased now because Liam Kelly's gone down. And he's sitting on it. He's voluntarily sat down, which suggests he's got a bit of a problem here. And that would be a worry. No Ben Stevenson on the bench today. He played for the under-23s yesterday. And Michael Doyle immediately signalled he's going to have to be replaced by the looks of things. That is, Kelly is. So that could be a blow for the Sky Blues. Looking at the team, Callum Maycock, I suppose, would be the most obvious straight swap. Which I think would be his first league appearance of the season for Callum Maycock. He's been on the bench a few times, he's played in cup games, but he's not played in the league so far this season. And he is getting ready to come on. So a blow for the Sky Blues to lose Liam Kelly, an opportunity for young Callum Maycock to make his impression. Kelly gets applause from the Sky Blues supporter, shakes his head, and you just worry about could be a bit of a tweak that might he's walking off all right, but you just wonder whether that might keep him out for a few games.
It just seems to be his left ankle, I think.
Mark McNulty is changing his boots here, interestingly. So there were water in the pitch just before kick-off, whether it's turned out to be a bit slicker than he expected. Sorry, you were saying about Liam Kelly.
Yeah, just seemed to be favouring his left foot. So I just wonder if it's an ankle, might be.
So as Maycock who comes on then for Kelly, straight into that holding midfield role. A very experienced Michael Doyle beside him. And Kelly has done his work for the night. Sky Blues have a throw in deep inside their own half. Throw in down the line, it's flicked on by Biamo. McNulty does well to get on the end of it, finds Shipley. Shipley to Doyle, Doyle to Ryan Haynes. Haynes now breaking down the left-hand side, crosses from deep, but it's a miscued cross, and it goes straight into the stand behind the net. And that is a goal kick to Stevenage.
Yeah, not a good delivery there from Haynes. He was in a good position perhaps to take it on a bit further, try and get to the actual byline and then whip it back to the forwards, but it was the wrong angle and went tamely for a goal kick.
And manager Mark Robbins is having another word with Ryan Haynes.
Not surprised.
Yeah, yes. The ball is played in the Sky Blues half. It's one in the air by Rob McDonald, and over the top ball from Michael Doyle. Oh, the keeper's come a long way out. Biamo almost got there first, and the ball's been hit back towards goal. McNulty goes for the first time shot, and the keeper just palms it away for a corner. Don't quite know why Joe Fryer felt the need to come so far out. It was a gamble from him because Biamo was close to getting to it. The keeper did get there first, but then for some reason a Stevenage player decided to kick the ball back towards goal, and it came to McNulty, just tried a first time kick towards goal, which ended up only in a corner.
and it's a defence that's conceded 29 goals.
Yeah, here comes a corner, and is it gone in? No, it's a desperate scramble, it is in! The Sky Blues scrambling in, I think it's Biamo who's claiming credit for it. It was a right mess from Stevenage inside the 6-yard box. I think it came off a defender initially, and then the ball was bouncing about right in front of the line, and somebody managed to get it across the line, and the Sky Blues have the lead. It is Stevenage 0, Coventry City 1.
BBC Coventry and Warwickshire, loving every Sky Blues goal.
Well, the Tannoy announcers credit it to Mark McNulty, but you can almost pick one from about half a dozen there, Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, bottom line is the Sky Blues have gone a goal up. They've been in charge of this game. They've dominated it. They've asked all the questions, and so they deserve that. And that'll please McNulty. He was on the spot at the right time, the right place. There's a really good corner, which I didn't see the corner. I don't know if
it'll be Shipley, I would imagine.
If it was a very good corner, he's clearly a dead ball specialist, and defence didn't know how to handle it. And McNulty was on the spot to tap it in, it seemed, from this angle.
Well, if it goes down to McNulty, then a good poacher's goal, but there were plenty of Sky Blues players there to make sure that ball went in. It seemed to take an age, but they eventually got it in. The Sky Blues scored their 6th goal in just over 2 away games. A slightly over-enthusiastic tackle from Jordan Willis here has resulted in a Stevenage free kick level of the penalty area. Press Association, who might be sitting beside the Tannoy announcer, have also given it to Mark McNulty, so we'll go with that. He could do with it, to be honest, so won't deny him it. It's a free kick to Stevenage.
Of course, it all came from that poor goalkeeper from Fryer, with the panic stations around him.
The free kick is sent in, it's headed towards goal, and Burge just has to tip it away under pressure. Did well there, Burge. Jack King was right on top of him. Matt Godden with the original ball in, and Burge managed to just punch it away under pressure, and Stevenage have responded to going behind well. Henry with a throw, level with the Sky Blues penalty area. Doyle makes the challenge, and the Sky Blues win the throw-in. Elsewhere in League 2, Luton, top of the table, have gone 1 up against Carlisle United. Luton 1, Carlisle 0. There's a latest, and Blackburn Rovers now 2-0 up at Oxford in League 1. Sky Blues lead by a goal to 0 here.
Good header again by Biamo. He's really been a thorn in the sides of Stevenage.
Here's Michael Doyle winning the ball, and Newton had his arm round Doyle's neck at one point there, and the referee gets a free kick. And Doyle wisely not reacting. He's on 4 yellow cards. Got to get through this game. Gets through this game, then he won't face a ban in a league match for getting to 5 yellows. He would still potentially miss the FA Cup tie if he picked up a yellow card against Crawley. It's a free kick to the Sky Blues, to be taken by Lee Burge. They lead by a goal to 0. Coventry City was right on the far side of the Sky Blues fans, and it's quite a long way from us as well. So it was a real scrappy goal, but it came from a good delivery from the corner, and also came from good work from both Biamo and McNulty ahead of winning the corner in the first place. The ball's knocked forward. Here's Biamo, chests it down, looking for Jones. Jones can't get on the end of it, and it's played out to the right hand side to Ronnie Henry. Henry crosses the halfway line, challenged by Jordan Shipley, who does well to force Stevenage backwards to the annoyance of the home fans. Now though, see Stevenage on the attack. Well, Danny Newton did his own refereeing. I think he was right, actually. Look at the body language of the assistant referee. Newton could have gone for that, chose not to because he thought he was offside, and actually the assistant referee had stopped still, ready to signal offside. So it was actually quite clever work from Newton, but the Sky Blues managed to tidy it up. In League 2, another one of the leading teams. Exeter City are ahead as well, so Exeter and Luton both leading, as are the Sky Blues. Swindon losing. Sky Blues up to stand to move above them at least, but it's Crawley 0, Exeter 1, and Chesterfield at the bottom have taken the lead against Forest Green Rovers as the Sky Blues threaten the attack. That's ended by an offside goal. In the Champions League, Liverpool now 2-0 up in Spain against Sevilla, and it's Sadio Mane scored that goal, and Blackburn are 3-0 up at Oxford United now. in League One. There's a Stevenage player this time gone down, and the Sky Blues have already lost Kelly from an injury. Liam Kelly replaced by Callum Maycock, and the Sky Blues taking the lead from a goal that's been credited to Mark McNulty after an almighty scramble from a corner. Teams take the opportunity of a drinks break. Well, I think it might be Tom Pett who's gone down. That could be a heartbreaker for Tom Pett. Anyway, it must be a bit annoying. If you Google Tom Pett's name, it immediately says, "Did you mean Tom Petty?" Anyway, he's back on his feet, so looks like he's going to be okay. 1-0 the Sky Blues lead. Swindon have equalised against Grimsby now. Grimsby 1, Swindon 1. So at the moment, a lot of the leading teams in the division are doing pretty well. But the most important thing from the Sky Blues point of view is their scoreline, and they lead by a goal to 0. And looking for a third consecutive away league win. Here's Michael Doyle, who goes to ground, pulled to the ground. Assistant referee flags for it. Smith pleads his innocence. Well, that's number 2, Jonathan Smith, but plays in midfield. Free kick for the Sky Blues. To be taken by Lee Burge. He can keep a clean sheet now. The Sky Blues win the game. Burge hadn't a save to make, but did do well to punch that ball away when he was under heavy pressure after a good cross. It's Stevenage trying to get the ball out of their own half, but it's charged down by Ryan Haynes, which keeps them back, pinned in their own half, but they do have a throw, Stevenage. And had a couple of seasons in League One before being relegated a few seasons back. So one of the relatively new teams in the Football League. Stevenage play it down the right hand side now. Godden tussling with Rob McDonald. McDonald as well stays strong and then kicks it dangerously close to us, rather hard as well, but it goes out for a throw into Stevenage. Captain Henry takes it, he gets the ball back, controls it with his chest, infield, plays a 1-2 with Godden. Here's Henry again, out to the right hand side to Pett with a good looking cross, and it was Jordan Willis who was there to make the crucial interception. He's hurt himself a bit in the process, he's getting back into action, limping slightly, but he denied Harry Buterman, who has scored twice against the Sky Blues in the past. Buterman, he's got 8 career goals in the league, Harry Buterman, 2 of them against Coventry City, 1 for Peterborough and 1 for Northampton Town last season, and Jordan Willis denied him a third there. Michael Doyle for the Sky Blues. Oh, that was a late challenge on Shipley. I think the referee missed that, and it was Henry with a rather naughty challenge. The Sky Blues still have possession, but there was no advantage signalled, and he's getting back up now. Shipley makes, well, he perhaps frustrated, then commits a foul and walks away. The referee will have a word, and
poor refereeing, because he was only 10 yards away when that challenge went into the back of the neck, leading with his arm, the Stevenage defender, and Shipley's going to get booked now for that.
Yeah, I think the referee probably turned away, it was that late. But anyway, it's a yellow card to Jordan Shipley. Just letting his frustration get the better of him.
If he did turn away, then his linesman should have backed him up, assisted him, as is the name of his job.
Free kick to Stevenage inside their own half. Swindon have come from behind the lead, Grimsby now, by 2 goals to 1. Sheffield United Fulham's 1-1 in the Championship. Free kick from Stevenage is towards the edge of the penalty area. It's headed away by Jordan Willis. Ooh, Jody Jones completely misses the attempt at a volley, but he's now trying to force the Stevenage man back, and Martin plays it down the left channel, and it goes out. Came off the Sky Blues player though, so it's a Stevenage throw. And Martin takes the throw, gets the ball back from Danny Newton, now gives it to Newton. Newton chips the ball forward, and that's bouncing inside the penalty area and has come off Rob McDonald. Just tried to tidy it away, just slightly lost control of it, so Stevenage get their third corner of the game, and the first of the previous two was a really good delivery which caused the Sky Blues some problems. So some defending for Coventry City to do here as they lead by a goal to nil.
Just thought Lee Burge could have perhaps helped Rod McDonald then by coming out and attacking the ball.
Now this corner is an away swing. It's another good delivery, but Rod McDonald and Jordan Willis are both up for it. Out jump the defender, and the end Biamo is fouled. So it's a free kick. Some good deliveries, but well defended. Just occurs to me the Sky Blues scoring for a corner. I think that is only the third time they've done that this season. One of them coming in the Checker Trade Trophy. I can remember one more in the league. Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking. Jack Grimmer early on. Yeah, I think it was against Grimsby. And I can't think of any other corners they've scored from until tonight. They've got one. Lee Burge with the free kick. It's a long kick. It's flicked on, and Jordan Shipley goes up for it. It's headed away though by Stevenage, but well won by Michael Dawler. Heads it down for Biamo. Biamo, little touch towards Maycock. Maycock finds Jody Jones, who's crowded by defenders, but still gets the ball away to Ryan Haynes. Haynes on the left. Now a little bit of acceleration from him. Tries to find Shipley, who's just slightly on the back foot, and Henry got in front of him and took the ball away. And Stevenage bring the ball away themselves. They cross the halfway line on the left-hand side with Joe Martin. Martin back to halfway, where he finds Jonathan Smith. Out to Ronnie Henry. Henry to Tom Pett. Good tackle by Ryan Haynes. Shipley wins it now. Doyle. Oh, finds Biamo in some space here. Biamo turns. He's got McNulty to his left. Biamo thinking about going himself. Eventually, not a good pass to Jody Jones. Jones will get there, but he was hit too hard and he has to get it on the right wing. He now whips across in. No one gets on the end of that. The Sky Blues really wasted a couple of opportunities to make something happen there. It's a goal kick to Stevenage.
Loads of space there for Max Biamo, but he sort of dithered a bit, and then the pass to Jody Jones was just slowed the whole move down, as it was about 10 yards behind him. He wanted it in front where he could run out of the defender, and what looked like a good opportunity for the Sky Blues to double their lead ended with just petered out basically.
Luton at the top now, 2-0 up against Carlisle. Championship, Fulham have gone behind to lead Sheffield United 2-1. Come from behind, I should say. Here is Stevenage now attacking. Danny Newton running towards the penalty, shoots, and that is not the sort of shot he had when he was at Tamworth. That one goes high over the bar and out for a goal kick. Might just be getting a bit frustrated confidence-wise, Danny Newton, because he got off to a flying start this season, having made the move into league football with Stevenage. Coventry City had been interested in him, and he scored 6 goals early on in the season, got only 1 in the last 9 games. A few scores elsewhere. Tottenham 1 down at Borussia Dortmund in the Champions League. Mentioned Luton 2 up against Carlisle. Liverpool 3 up in Sevilla. Firmino has got his 2nd goal there. Sky Blues lead by a goal to nil here, and they have a throw in halfway inside the Stevenage half. Just over 10 minutes to half time. Haynes with a throw. Sky Blues might try and get another set piece or two and see if they can get any more joy there, having seen that corner so poorly defended by Stevenage. Here's Jordan Shipley, turns and knocks the ball forward, just over, hits it slightly. He goes out for a throw in to Stevenage.
As well as the Sky Blues being a threat, the set pieces from Stevenage as well are causing the Sky Blues problems in defence as well. So they've got to guard against it.
Like another goal or two here, to be greedy. Throw in down the line is flicked on. Rob McDonald now boot high, but the referee's happy. Callum Maycock does well to find Jordan Shipley. That was a good ball from Maycock on the volley. Shipley now running towards the corner of the penalty area to Haynes. Haynes plays it low and just in front of Biamo, and it's gathered by the keeper. Good move from the Sky Blues down the left-hand side. Bowled out.
Pulled it back a little bit further than that would have been in range for Biamo.
The ball's played forward, aimed at Matt Godden for Stevenage, and Tom Davis with 2 headers gets the ball out for a Stevenage throw.
Lee Bird should have shouted for that one and told Rod to leave it, let it go through to him. It would reach him easily.
Henry now for Stevenage. Plays the ball back to Mark McKee, back to the halfway line. It's a bit forward, Callum Maycock intercepts, but slightly miscontrols it. And Matt Godden now has it. He shoots, charged down by Rod McDonald. It's still there though for Stevenage, just outside the penalty area. Now flicked into the area, headed away by Haynes. McKee now with a shot, and that's Godden tried to trap it on the edge of the area to give himself a chance, couldn't quite do it. And now Shipley whips the ball long, aimed at Mark McNulty, but it's gathered by the goalkeeper. It stays 1-0 to the Sky Blues.
Yeah, that was the right idea from Jordan Shipley, just needed a bit more low trajectory so it would have been more direct towards Mark McNulty.
The ball headed out. Mark Robbins down below us shouting something. He sees his team lead at the moment. Throw in for Stevenage. Down on the left hand side, it's won by Jones. Jody Jones now running towards the halfway line for the Sky Blues. Stops and checks. Plays a short ball out to Ryan Haynes. Haynes infield to Rod McDonald. Squares it to Tom Davis under a little bit of pressure. Gives it back to Lee Burge. Burge gets himself in a position to get a good clearance kick on it. Certainly got distance, although it goes straight out for a throw-in. Crawley have equalised against Exeter. Crawley 1, Exeter 1. So it's one of the leading teams who have been pegged back in League 2. Bolton lead Reading by a goal to nil in the Championship. It's in possession Stevenage inside their own half. Sky Blues still 1 ahead. Scramble goal from a corner by Mark McNulty. Danny Newton here for Stevenage, lays the ball off nicely, finds Mark McKee. McKee out to the left wing. Joe Martin is. Martin back to McKee. Good covering from the Sky Blues, not giving Stevenage any space. More Lee's blow across the ground here. As the ball is played forward by Stevenage, quite a breeze clearly out there. Maycock makes a challenge, doesn't make it, and it's now Stevenage just outside the penalty area. It comes out to the right hand side to Tom Pett, who tries a short pass. Maybe one pass too many there from Stevenage, and Ryan Haynes makes a good interception. Throw into Stevenage, level with the Sky Blues penalty area. They've taken it quickly. Ronnie Henry plays it infield. It comes out to Harry Buterman. His cross, well blocked by Ryan Haynes again. And now the ball just outside the penalty area. Doyle gets a boot on the ball, but it comes back for Stevenage. Doyle goes down and gets up gingerly, and then a shot's fired in and it hits Tom Davis's back. The shot from Mark McKee hit the back of Tom Davis and goes out for another corner from Crawley for Stevenage.
Anxious moments for the Sky Blues now. There's Stevenage just seems to be up in it a bit in the level of their game. A couple of gears they've gone up now, and the Sky Blues need to be strong.
The corner, and Leeper drops it but gets it a second attempt. Well, he did well initially, he got into the right position to grab it, but it slipped through his hands. He was mighty relieved to land on it. And,
I think as we've seen the leaves keep wandering around in front of us, the wind's getting quite strong out there, and that was in the end it was well judged by Lee Burge, because it was swirling away from him as he decided to come out for it.
Maybe having an impact. Rob McDonald overhits that pass, and it's still 1-0 to the Sky Blues. Leeton Town are drawing 1-1 against Bromsgrove Sporting in the Birmingham Senior Cup. Jordan Nicholson having given Leeton the lead, but Bromsgrove have since equalised. Here are Stevenage inside the Sky Blues. Half the ball is slid through the middle, blocked by Michael Doyle. There might be a chance for a break for the Sky Blues. Well, unfortunately, Ryan Haynes, who holds his hand to his mouth, miscues the ball and goes straight out for a throw. And Leon Clark, the former Sky Blues striker, has got his second for Sheffield United today. They're back level at 2-2 against Fulham. Here are Stevenage beginning to crank it up a bit here. Harry Buterman out to the left hand side, the cross from Joe Martin, glancing header away from Tom Davis, and a good solid contact from Jordan Shipley with the boot, and gets the ball up to the halfway line, but it'll come back again, and Joe Martin clips the ball forward, and Tom Davis tries to win it in the air. It's still with Stevenage, the cross from the left, and that's going to bounce straight through and go out for a throw-in to Coventry City.
just get the impression that Mark Robbins will just want this first half to end, really, so he can get his team in, keep that 1-0 advantage, keep reminders of what they need to do in the second half, and then can go on from there.
Throw in to the Sky Blues, deep inside their own half. Ryan Haynes with a throw down the line. It hits a Stevenage player. The Sky Blues will gain some territory. And get another throw. Ryan Haynes been told by the referee to stay put, not to steal any more yards. He takes the throw back to Rob McDonald, to Haynes, back to McDonald. The Sky Blues in possession just outside their penalty area. McDonald now plays a long ball down the left channel and just beats Mark Minotti, who goes for it and goes out for a goal kick. You see Coventry and Warwickshire, the Sky Blues live. The Sky Blues leading by a goal to nil. And ball played long. Stevenage is headed away by Rob McDonald. Comes to Max Biamo. Biamo for Jones, who challenged by Beauty, who does well, and it's Stevenage who come forward again. Stevenage on the attack, and it was a good block from Rob McDonald to deny Jonathan Smith, and now the Sky Blues bring it away. It's Jody Jones on the right hand side. Jones plays it forward to Jordan Shipley in a central position. Shipley looking for Doyle, but a little bit of a hospital pass, so the tackle comes in. Stevenage threatening to counter-attack. Rob McDonald does well. And, too strong for Danny Newton, who wants a free kick, doesn't get it. And the Sky Blues get the throw in. It's 1-0 Coventry City lead. And they have it with Rob McDonald. Squares it to fellow defender Tom Davis. And Sky Blues pass it around inside their own half. Few minutes to go to half time. I'll be happy to go in at half time. One ahead. There's been some threat from Stevenage, notably from corners. It is still the Sky Blues who lead. And the ball is now back with Lee Burge, who kicks it upfield into the Stevenage half. Is headed away, and that will be a Sky Blues throw inside their own half. Ryan Haynes with a throw back to Tom Davis. Feel Coventry just happy now to try and get this to half time. They give the ball away there though, and give Stevenage a throw in on the halfway line. Throw is played into the middle. Stevenage out to the left wing. Joe Martin now for Stevenage, short pass, but a good tackle by Max Biamo, but Stevenage keep it. They don't for very long though, and Jordan Willis gets it away to McNulty. McNulty now to Michael Doyle. Jordan Shipley now for the Sky Blues. He goes down and can't find a Sky Blues player, and Danny Newton threatens a counter-attack, couldn't control the ball. Michael Doyle took advantage and nicked it off him, and Doyle has been pretty composed. The Sky Blues captain plays it forward to Shipley. Shipley out to the left to Ryan Haynes. Haynes slides it down the channel for Shipley. Unfortunately, Shipley's offside. That's a shame. That looked like a promising move. Not to be. Port Vale.
Simple mistake there. There's plenty of time to look across.
Port Vale 0, Mansfield 1 in the League 2. Thought Mansfield would start climbing the table, and they're looking for a third consecutive win. In the Championship, Fulham now lead Sheffield United 3-2 away. 3 minutes of stoppage time to be played. Should say Bolton are 2 up against Reading. 3 minutes of stoppage time to be played. There was that injury early on, but Stevenage give the ball away, and the Sky Blues have a throw in halfway inside their own half. Injury to Liam Kelly, which resulted in Kelly being substituted and replaced by Callum Maycock. It's a throw in. Ryan Haynes told to hurry up, and Haynes throws it back to Rod McDonald. McDonald, that was a strange one from McDonald. He gets away with it, actually finds Jody Jones, but he mishit that right across his own half. Now Jones plays it back to Tom Davis, who gives it back to Lee Burge, of Stevenage players threatening. Good kick from Burge though. Oh, and it's a
a few reminders at half in the dressing room now from Stevie Grizovic, from Mark Robbins, and the guy from Warsaw whose name escapes me.
Adrian Vivas.
Yes. They can go on, I think, in the second half, and hopefully not be 1-0 for too much longer, get that important second goal and take it from there.
So there we are at half-time. The Sky Blues leading by a goal to nil. Here's the Sky Blues live on BBC Coventry and Warwickshire.
Getting the news. Residents in Tile Hill want the speed limit lowered to...
What's the highest speed you've recorded in Tile Hill?
53 miles an hour.
On a 30.
On a 30.
Getting you talking.
We are languishing in the past. From Broadgate to Corporation Street, all them shops there, they want demolishing.
Getting your stories.
Quickly, how many presents do you reckon you've got to buy?
Altogether about 100. 100 presents. Getting your day off to a great start.
You know, you've really kept me going, and you've brought me back to me old self.
Thank you so much.
Getting you up weekday mornings. The Breakfast Show with Trisha Doodoo.
I'm back tomorrow morning from 6.
It's BBC Coventry and Warwickshire. The Sky Blues live. The Sky Blues leading by a goal to nil here at the Lamech Stadium, the home of Stevenage. It's not been as dramatic, as exciting perhaps as the Lincoln game, which was one of the better games this season in terms of the entertainment value, but it's going swimmingly enough for the Sky Blues at the moment. We'll run through the other scores in League 2 in a moment. Let's give you the non-league details. Birmingham City Cup second round, Nuneaton Town lead now 2-1 at Bromsgrove Sporting. Jordan Nicholson scoring both Nuneaton's goals. In the Southern Premier League, Stratford Town 2-0 up against Kings Langley. Summerfield and Grocott scoring for Stratford. And in the Midland Premier League, Rugby Town leads Shawbury United by a goal to nil. The latest scores in League 2 so far this evening. Full programme. Accrington Stanley and Wickham, two teams above the Sky Blues, are drawing 0-0. Cheltenham Cambridge is 0-0. Chesterfield 1-up against Forest Green Rovers. Colchester lead Lincoln by a goal to nil. Lincoln, one of the higher placed teams, not to be winning at the moment, because by and large most of them are doing pretty well at the moment, but Lincoln 1-0 down at Colchester, and Exeter actually been pegged back. They're drawing 1-1 now away to Crawley. Swindon were behind against Grimsby, but they now lead by 2-1. And Luton, who scored 7 on Saturday, have just got the 2 at the moment, but they lead Carlisle by 2-0. Morecambe Crew and Newport Barnes are both goalless. Mansfield climbing the table steadily. They're 1-up at Port Vale, and Notts County are 1-up at Yeovil. So the as it stands table would only see the Sky Blues move up one place. They'd move above Wickham to be on 33 points in 6th, but it would make that top 7 a bit more congested. The Sky Blues would still be 7 points behind the leader Notts County and 5 behind Luton, but they would be just 2 points behind 3rd place Accrington as things stand, 2 points behind Swindon as well, and there'd be 2 points out of 8th place Mansfield. I mean, most of the top 9 are winning at the moment. Other scores in football elsewhere. Champions League, Liverpool 3-0 up against Sevilla. Firmino's got 2 and Mane got the other. Liverpool ending for top of their group. Manchester City destroyed 0-0 against Feyenoord. Manchester City have long since qualified. Napoli and Shakhtar Donetsk in their group is also goalless. In Group H, where Tottenham play, they're 1-0 down in Germany, Borussia Dortmund, whereas Real Madrid are thumping Apoel Nicosia 4-0 away. It's a battle for top place between Real Madrid and Tottenham, who will both go through to the knockout stages. One other group being played tonight in the Champions League, and RB Leipzig are 4-1 up away to Monaco. Besiktas and FC Porto drew 1-1 earlier. In the Championship, Chris Coleman's first game in charge of Sunderland, and they're 1-0 down at half-time against Aston Villa. Barnsley Cardiff is goalless, so is Brentford Burton. Preston 1-0 up against Bristol City. Derby scored just before half-time to lead QPR by a goal to nil. Millwall, Hull and Forest Norwich are both goalless, and 2 goals for Leon Clark, the former Sky Blues striker, but his team are nonetheless losing at half-time. Sheffield United 2, Fulham 3, and Bolton lead Reading by 2 goals to nil. Quickly in League 1, Blackpool 1, Gillingham 0, Bradford 1, Scunthorpe 1. The leaders Shrewsbury are 0-0 at Bury. Charlton Rochdale 1-1, Southend 1 up at the MK Dons. Tony Mowbray's Blackburn going 3 up at Oxford, although they have conceded just before half-time, so Oxford 1, Blackburn 3. Plymouth lead Northampton by a goal to nil. Walsall 2-1 up against Fleetwood, and Wigan 2-0 up against Doncaster. The other games are all goalless in League One so far. It's BBC Coventry in Warwickshire. If you want to have your say, you can text 81333, start your message CW. You can tweet us at BBC Cov Sport. Tweet here from Ian, who says, maybe flattered to be leading, missing Kelly in midfield. They look decent. Next goal in this game is vital. Play up Sky Blues is Ian's views. Jim texted 10 minutes in, and I can't quite read what he says, but he says very poor. Well, they're 1-0 up now, and someone's saying it sounds like it's going to be a long second 45 minutes. I don't know what you want, really. But anyway, Gavin Easham says very good first half for the Sky Blues, keeping up the good work in the second half. I'd go for a 3-0 win tonight with a valuable 3 points in the bag. Nick in Birmingham says decent first half, good for McNulty to finally get a goal. Shame about Liam Kelly, but Callum Maycock's a good replacement. Here's hoping we get 3 points. Graham in France says, as soon as the scouts go home, shouldn't be long, then Jones could turn it on. Yeah, we mentioned before the game that certainly a lot of scouts' names were down on the list because the press actually share their pre-match room with the scouts here, and we did spot the scouts list, and it had scouts from a number of clubs, Premiership clubs, Championship clubs, League One clubs. Whether they all turned up or not, I couldn't tell you, but certainly a lot were down on the list. Well, you would surmise that Jody Jones might well be one of the players they're watching. Text 81333, start your message CW, tweet us at BBC Cov Sport, and you can also call us at the end of the game on 0345 900 5200. There's a couple more tweets just coming in. I've just seen one from the Leamington and Warwick Coventry Supporters Club. I think it might be Juggins does those tweets, I'm not sure, but anyway, it says midfield overrun without Kelly, and Paul says yep, worrying. You can tweet at BBC Cov Sport if you want to make your comments. And Wellesley says keep it up City, well played so far, 3 points please. So the Sky Blues ahead at half time. Let's have a recap on the first half highlights.
BBC Coventry and Warwickshire Sport.
Michael Daw wins it, gives it to McNulty, who lobs it over the top for Max Biamo to chase his might. Bounce for Biamo, and the referee's penalised him. He's put the ball in the net. Some Sky Blues fans are celebrating, but it won't count. The referee adjudged Biamo to have fouled the defender. Free kick to Stevenage. Here comes a corner, and is it gone in? No, it's a desperate scramble. It is in. The Sky Blues scrambling. I think it's Biamo who's claiming credit for it. It was a right mess from Stevenage inside the 6-yard box. I think it came off a defender initially, and then the ball was bouncing about right in front of the line, and somebody managed to get it across the line, and the Sky Blues have the lead. Free kick is sent in, it's headed towards goal, and Burge just has to tip it away under pressure. Did well there, Burge. Jack King was right on top of him. Matt Godden with the original ball in, and Burge managed to just punch it away under pressure. And here's Henry again, out to the right hand side to Pett. Pett with a good looking cross, and it was Jordan Willis who was there. Stevenage now attacking. Danny Newton running towards the penalty, shoots. That one goes high over the bar and out for a goal kick. Doyle goes down and gets up gingerly, and then the shot's fired in and it hits Tom Davis's back. The shot from Mark McKee hit the back of Tom Davis and goes out for another corner. Oh, and Leaper drops it but gets it a second attempt. Well, he did well initially. He got to the right position to grab it, but it slipped through his hands. He was mighty relieved to land on it.
The Sky Blues Live.
BBC Coventry and Warwickshire.
So looking good for the Sky Blues so far. Certainly. certainly in terms of the scoreline. Sorry, we've got nice music there. The Sky Blues leading by a goal to nil here through Mark McNulty's goal. The full second half coming here on BBC, Coventry and Warwickshire, and then we'll take your calls at the end of the game and give you first reaction from Mark Robbins, the Sky Blues manager. The Leamington and Warwick Supporters Club also asking the question whether this is one of the few grounds with a terrace along the side of the ground, along the side of the pitch, directly opposite us. In fact, we're in a stand, but directly opposite us is a long row of terracing, which is about probably a dozen rows deep. A lot of supporters saying that. Any Sky Blues fans who like to stand at games, well, in terms of having terracing, won't get that here because the Sky Blues are an all-seated area, but there is a large bank of terracing directly opposite us. You're listening to the Sky Blues live on BBC Coventry, Warwickshire. Coming up, the whole of the second half here at Stevenage, where it is Stevenage 0, Coventry City 1.
The place you live.
We've also got 46 coffee shops in Leamington. It's just a pleasure to get out and about in Lem.
I must admit, I do wear my nice jeans when I come to Leamington.
See?
The stories you share.
My mum will be 106 on December the 13th. And my son went over to visit her recently and he said, I think Nanny just gets bored.
The music you love.
BBC Coventry and Warwickshire.
It's BBC Coventry and Warwickshire, the Sky Blues live here at Stevenage, where the Sky Blues lead by a goal to nil. Will be reaction to this on our sports bulletins tomorrow morning and during the breakfast show. The breakfast show with Trish from 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. And it's rugby unions, the rugby show. Or tweet them at BBC Cov Sports, or you can text them 81333, cite your text CW, as Roland Winter will be one of the Coventry personalities in the studio for the rugby show from 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. Eddie Jones has just named his 25 for the test against Samoa at Twickenham, and the Wasps players, Elliot Daly, has scored a try against Australia, along with forwards Joe Launchbury is in the... I'm just trying to see, actually. No, Nathan Hughes isn't. Nathan Hughes has been released back to his club, but Joe Launchbury and Elliot Daly keep their places in the England squad for the test match against Samoa. Wasp players have scored tries in both of the internationals so far, the autumn internationals involving England. Well, the Sky Blues players are out. We still await the Stevenage players, who may be getting some strong words perhaps, because they haven't really impressed in the first half, but they have threatened with set pieces in particular. That looks the biggest threat to the Sky Blues in the first half. Jeff Foster's just taking his seat. Max Biama is just by the... but I think he's changed his boots as well. We saw Mark McNulty do that during the first half. So maybe the pitch has been a little slicker than they were expecting. The wind, has it died down a bit? Maybe a bit. There's a leaf which is floating rather gently to the ground just in front of us. It was blowing behind the Sky Blues in the first half, so they'll be kicking towards it in the second half as the Stevenage players come out. I feel the Sky Blues need to defend the set piece as well in the second half to win this game, Jeff.
They do, yes. I'm sure that's something that they'll have gone through their defensive procedures, who does what and where they defend. The marking is important at these set pieces. So the Sky Blues still keeping the same 11 that started the match for the time being anyway.
And Sky Blues will be kicking from left to right as we look at it here.
I think it's swirling, isn't it?
Yeah, there's certainly a point towards half-time where everything seems to be coming from behind the Sky Blues. We saw a goalkeeper's kick from the Stevenage keeper, which got nowhere near the halfway line. But anyway, we're underway, and the Sky Blues attacking towards their own supporters in this second half, leading by a goal to nil. Straight away, Stevenage bowl the ball out. They may be looking for a bit more urgency in the second half. And Max Biama, a rather silly challenge on Harry Buterman, just knocks him to the ground. That'll be a free kick to Stevenage inside the Sky Blues half. Joe Martin, their set-piece specialist, mentioned for experienced player. He's standing over the ball, looks like he's going to whip it in towards the edge of the penalty area. Floats it there, it's flicked on, it's a dangerous one. There was a chance at the far post for Danny Newton, and he put it over the bar straight away. Stevenage looking at a threat from the set-piece. Definitely a chance there for a player you expected of his quality to certainly test Lee Burge then, but from looked a good position inside the 6-yard box, he just blasted it over the bar. But the Sky Blues marking them was a bit slack, and they'll need to put their ideas up. Well, already right at the start of the second half, the referee is warning Lee Burge to get on with it. He got a yellow card for time wasted in stoppage time at Lincoln, but referee started early here. Sky Blues might have to watch that and make sure that they don't give the referee reason to add a huge amount of stoppage time. It's Stevenage out on the right hand side. Tom Pett lets the ball bounce out, throw in halfway inside the Sky Blues half, and it's taken by Henry, Ronnie Henry. Infield to Tom Pett, back to Henry, whips into the penalty area. Rob McDonald, again, has been terrific in the centre of defence. He clears, ball bounces over the Stevenage defender. Mark McNulty turns and plays it for Max Biama to chase. Biama's penalised there for a shove on Jack King. Could argue that was giving the benefit of the doubt to the defender, but it's a free kick to Stevenage. Sure, that was a close call for the referee, because it just looked like two players just contesting for the ball, and Biama just seemed a little bit stronger. Stevenage inside the Sky Blues half. It's a misplaced pass, and Rob McDonald now again for Max Biama to chase when it run into his path. Defended as well. Biama goes down. The Sky Blues fans claim foul, so does Mark McNulty, but nothing given. Biama gets back on his feet. Stevenage bring it away. Good tackle from Tom Davis, allows the Sky Blues to win it. Maycock, good ball to Mark McNulty. McNulty now shrugs off a challenge. McNulty tries a shot from outside the area, and the keeper looking a little bit out of place. Sees the ball go wide, then out for a goal kick. Well, I'm sure that Biama will think that he was possibly fouled then, as he was committed for the ball. You just wish he had just that little bit more pace. He got away from the defender. As it was, he was tussling for it. The defender just seemed to pull him back. And while the referee was quite happy a minute or so ago to decide that Biama had been over physical, certainly their defender looked like he had been then. Free kick now to Stevenage, halfway inside the Sky Blues half. Tottenham have equalised in the Champions League in Germany. Dortmund 1, Tottenham 1. Harry Kane scoring. Ronaldo scored for Real Madrid, or 5-0 up in Nicosia. Free kick then to Stevenage, and here's a threat again from the set piece. Mark McKee taking this one, plays it straight to the left wing to Matt Godden. Oh, and Jody Jones challenged him. Godden goes down maybe a little too easily and doesn't really appeal, to be fair, and the referee's happy to let play carry on. McNulty now, having been fouled, the referee plays advantage, and Jody Jones has got options here, and it doesn't manage any of them. There were two players waiting for the pass, Shipley and Doyle. Jones hesitated, and by the time he made the pass, you have to give some credit to Harry Buterman, who got there and made the block, but you feel Jones should have done better with that. Now it's Ryan Haynes on the left of the Sky Blues, whips across in, goes straight across goal, picked up by Jody Jones on the right. Jones now, can he get this one right? He curls it towards the top corner, but it just keeps sailing upwards and out for a goal kick. Should have done a lot better on that previous move then, just to delayed his pass into the area, where if he'd hit it first time, Biama was in oceans of space and could have had the time to control it and then attack on goal, but Jones delayed it, and in the end he was caught in two minds whether to go himself or bring Biama into play, and in the end, disappointingly, it just once again petered out. But the Sky Blues started brightly now, a lot of pressing, putting Stevenage under pressure. But you're right with that. My heart was in the mouth of the tackle by Jones in the penalty area. Well, near the penalty area. Well, I think it was definitely in, but the referee not giving anything. And to be fair, there was no great complaints from Stevenage. Perhaps the player just did go down a little bit prematurely. Aston Villa leads Sunderland 2-0 now in the Championship. It's going to be a tough old job for Chris Coleman, isn't it? Ball's kicked out here for a throw-in by Jordan Willis, trying to find Jody Jones. Liverpool have conceded in Spain. They still lead 3-1 against Sevilla. Throw into Stevenage. Joe Martin down the line, flicked on by Danny Newton, still there potentially for Stevenage, but Tom Davis collects and plays the ball back to his keeper. The rain now coming down here at Stevenage. We're getting all sorts of the elements here. Coming down fairly straight. I think the wind has died down a bit, which might suit the Sky Blues, but now rain. And it will be coming into the faces of the Sky Blues players in this second half. There is still some breeze there. Stevenage with Joe Martin on the left-hand side of the halfway line, plays it down the left channel, and it's flicked inside and bounces out for a goal kick to the Sky Blues. So Lee Burge to take the goal kick. Sky Blues leading by a goal to nil. Played 6.5 minutes of the second half. Be a long, tense second half unless they can add a goal. They had a great chance a while ago when Jody Jones, it was 3 against 1, and Jody Jones just couldn't find the 2. And the ball is played upfield. He picked up some bad language on the microphones. I apologise about it. Not much we can do about it, but I apologise if you heard any of that. The ball is headed forward by Rob McDonald. Michael Doyle tries to go for it. It's picked up by Stevenage. And have it in midfield, and it's with King, Jack King forward. Challenge comes in from Jordan Willis of Sky Blues, forcing Stevenage back. A robust challenge between two players, Martin of Stevenage and Willis of the Sky Blues. Martin came away with the ball, but the Sky Blues have recovered it. Michael Doyle doing it, and now Willis to Mark McNulty. McNulty running at the Stevenage defence, he tries an ambitious shot, and it's a fairly wild one, and out for a goal kick.
You can understand why he tried the shot. He was running forward at pace. Defenders were backing off as well. It's one of the ones that every now and again you do hit it just right, sails into the net, but that wasn't one of the occasions.
Brentford lead Burton by a goal to nil in the Championship. The Sky Blues 1-0 ahead here. Ball is kicked aimlessly by Stevenage, and Lee Burge is happy to let it go out for a goal kick. It seems to me that Stevenage offer very little threat apart from when they got the ball in a dead ball situation. And it's a goal kick from Lee Burge for the Sky Blues. And Burge taking his time, kicks it into the Stevenage half, so he had no problems with the breeze there. Stevenage with Jack King, plays it back to his keeper. McNulty putting him under pressure. Keeper gets a good clearance on it, to be fair to him, and gets it away. And now Stevenage try and break down the right wing. They have it by the corner flag, and it's gone out for a goal kick. Goal kick to the Sky Blues. Port Vale nil, Mansfield 2 now in League 2. Xander Diamond's got them both for the improving Mansfield. Real Madrid is 6-0 up in Nicosia. Ronaldo's got another one. And are you having fun with your cup of tea you got there?
A cup of coffee, it's all over the place. Yeah.
That'll teach you. It's a goal kick to the Sky Blues. Going through a quiet phase, but that's okay from the Sky Blues point of view because it's they who lead. Tom Davis wins the header in defence. It's picked up by Stevenage around about the halfway line with Harry Butterman. He plays it forward, headed out by Tom Davis. Throw in to Stevenage. Be taken by Joe Martin. Martin gets the ball back again. Goes through a couple of players and then goes down. He wanted the free kick, but the referee unimpressed. And the Sky Blues win a throw, and Callum Maycock knocking it off a defender. Throw into the Sky Blues.
Maycock's done well since he's come on.
Some of his passes have been really impressive. Throw in from Willis. It's headed out for another throw to the Sky Blues. We're taken by Willis. 1 in 4 substitution from Mark Robbins, who is a manager who isn't too quick to bring his substitutes on. Be interested to see if and what changes he makes in this second half. Throw in by Willis, back to Tom Davis. Davis plays the ball long. It's headed away. Doyle goes up for it, can't get on the end of it. Maycock does get it, plays it short to Biama. Back to Maycock, first time ball to Doyle. Doyle to Shipley, nice intricate passing from the Sky Blues. Shipley just outside the penalty area. The passing breaks down at that point as he fails to find Ryan Haynes.
Just wanted to find a bit of room there where he could just unleash a left foot shot. We've seen him put in free kicks from the edge of the areas, and that time it just looked, if he could have got the shot in, it might have really tested the goalkeeper.
Mark McNulty turns on the ball, gives it to Shipley, back to McNulty just outside the area, crowded out by white shirts, goes down to the challenge from one of them, and the free kick given. The referee didn't blow his whistle straight away, so I fancy the assistant might have alerted to him even though he didn't raise his flag. It's a free kick for the Sky Blues just outside the penalty area.
It's in Jordan Shipley territory as well. Yeah. He's already grabbed hold of the ball.
Well, a chance for the Sky Blues.
Jody Jones wants a piece of the action as well.
Second goal wouldn't kill it at this point, but it would certainly put the Sky Blues in a very strong position. And bearing in mind that Stevenage aren't going through the best of spells, it would knock them for 6. So Shipley and Jones, this is about 20 yards out, a bit to the right, so here's the option to float it in to the players on the left hand side of the penalty area. A shot is the favourite, but not the only option. It's a 4-man wall. Callum Maycock is poised for a pass. Shipley and Jones stand side by side. Jones takes a breath. He's going to run first, and he goes for the shot, hits the top of the wall and out for a corner. He turns to Jordan Shipley as if to say, sorry, I should have let you take it. Wasn't bad though. They got a corner for the Sky Blues. Just didn't quite have enough height on it. Corner.
A set piece for the Sky Blues, and they were a good positive attacking ploy in the first half.
Well, they scored from one of their previous 2 corners, and that was a good delivery, and it was Tom Davis attacking the ball, but the defender just got it away. Threat of a counter-attack from Stevenage, but Jody Jones is alert to it and plays a long ball back to his goalkeeper, Lee Burge.
Good corner again by Shipley.
Burge's long kick upfield. Sky Blues sense a second goal maybe here that lead them a big step towards getting the 3 points. Shipley out to the right, finds Jody Jones. Jones now on the right corner of the penalty area, moves towards the byline, pulls it back. Oh, and Biama was there, but defender just got there first, although the referee says goal kick, and Biama's body language suggests he was right, so that was a chance for Biama.
What a good chance, yes. Nice quick passing again in the build-up. Jones did well going on the outside of the full-back this time. He's got him guessing, not knowing which way he's going to go. This way time he went round the outside, in at the near post, and Biama just put off by the defender.
Sky Blues leading by a goal to 0 here, and they have conceded a free kick just inside the Stevenage half. Referee might have played an advantage there actually, but didn't pick that up. Stevenage take the free kick quickly. Doyle challenges quickly. The Sky Blues get the ball back, and it might come from McNulty, who touches it to Biamo. Max Biamo now to Jody Jones on the right hand side. Jody Jones infield to Biamo. Biamo drags the ball forward and then goes down to the challenge from Smith, who claims a dive. The referee says no, that was a foul. Free kick to Coventry City.
Good skill by Biamo then. He's very talented, quick feet, good little turn, and he was away from the defender and was clearly tripped.
So free kick for the Sky Blues, a bit further out this time, but Shipley is the only man over the ball. Mark Robbins shouted instructions, I think indicating, telling the players to talk to each other, and telling Jody Jones to get in. Jody Jones is straight out to the right. He's telling him no, get in towards the edge of the area. Shipley to float the ball in. You would think, it's not one of his better deliveries, although it's poorly dealt with by a defender. A miscued clearance. And it needs a second clearance, so it might yet come for Jody Jones, who couldn't make contact with the ball, and McKee brings it away for Stevenage, who might be able to counter-attack here, but good work from Ryan Haynes. Stevenage preparing a substitution, and Samuel is going to come on for them, but there's a delay because it's Jones that's gone down here for the Sky Blues.
Shipley was very quick to call on the physiotherapist as his teammate like prone on the grass.
Liverpool are facing a bit of a comeback in Spain. It's now Sevilla 2, Liverpool 3 in the Champions League. Liverpool 3-0 up at half time. On comes the substitute for Stevenage. Alex Samuel is on the field for them. Couldn't actually see who went off there. Neither of the strikers, Danny Newton and Matt Godden, are still out there. But Jody Jones is one of only 2 ever-present players left on the Sky Blues team in the league this season, along with Michael Doyle. But he's in some discomfort, it would seem. The Sky Blues have already lost Liam Kelly to injury. And that would be a blow if Jody Jones goes down. The physio's just talking to some of the Sky Blues staff, and he stayed down here, Jones. It looks like it's his left knee, or maybe the back of his leg on the left-hand side. And this is a cause of some concern for Coventry City. Chesterfield 2, Forest Green
just signalled to bring a stretcher on.
Yeah, in the League 2, Chesterfield went 2 up against Forest Green Rovers. Forest Green got one back now. They're both near the bottom of the table. Exeter have gone behind to Crawley. It's Crawley 2, Exeter 1, so that's quite good news from a Sky Blues point of view. Could get them to within 1 point of Exeter, who lost to the bottom team Chesterfield the weekend, so they may be going through a slightly difficult patch. And out comes the stretcher. And Jody Jones, are they going to replace him straight away? Steve Grisovich is having a chat with Michael Doyle. But
Vincenti or Kelly Evans would seem logical replacements. Sign of any activity in the dugout.
So the only other option might be at Ponticelli and a rejig of the where the front players line up. But no substitutions going to be made straight away. Mark Robinson is going to rush into it and give Jody Jones time, but it's not looking good, I have to say. In fact, Peter Vincente is now stripping off, so the second enforced substitution for the Sky Blues, and worrying. Another game in the league on Saturday against Crawley. They have a bit of a break from league action there, but albeit an important FA Cup tie against Boreham Wood. But you wonder whether Liam Kelly or Jody Jones are going to be fit for that game against Crawley at the weekend. Jack Grimmer hopefully could be back. He's gone through the concussion protocols which prevented him playing either tonight or Saturday, but hopefully by next weekend he might have got through those successfully. But 1 or 2 injury problems now beginning to creep in for the Sky Blues, which underlines how important the squad is going to be. Scores elsewhere. The 2 teams above the Sky Blues playing each other are still goalless with Accrington and Wickham. Other leading teams in League 2. Lincoln just below the Sky Blues, 1-0 down at Colchester. We mentioned Exeter 2-1 down at Crawley. Swindon still lead Grimsby by 2-1, having been behind at one stage. Luton 2 up against Carlisle. Newport not far off the pace. They've been held 0-0 at the moment by Barnet. Mansfield 3-0 up now against Port Vale, and Notts County lead Yeovil by 1-0. Champions League scores: Liverpool 3-2 up against Sevilla now, and conceded 2 in the second half. Man City is still 0-0 against Feyenoord. Tottenham 1-1 against Borussia Dortmund. Real Madrid 6-0 up against Nicosia, and Jody Jones being stretchered off. Sporting applause from the home crowd in the stand, and affectionate applause from the Sky Blue supporters behind the goal away to our right. I just hope that that's not too serious, but serious enough for him to be substituted now. Peter Vincente will come on for the Sky Blues, who lead by 1-0. You can factor in plenty of stoppage time now, and that stoppage taking a fair while. The clock has ticked to 19 minutes in this second half. The throw in from Stevenage, and the Sky Blues can't pick up the loose ball, and it's with Stevenage about 30 yards out. Jordan Shipley makes half a tackle, but still there for Stevenage, and Ronnie Henry goes for the first time cross, and it's volleyed away by Rob McDonald. Throw in for Stevenage on the far side, and the throw in out to the right hand side. Stevenage try and get it in towards goal, and that has gone out for another Stevenage throw, level with the Sky Blues penalty area. Max Biama staying up, every other Sky Blues man back to defend. Still this slender lead. They might have doubled it, but they haven't, so they still just have the 1 goal to protect. And Stevenage halfway inside the Sky Blues half. They are being forced backwards a little bit, but still have it with Jonathan Smith. His square pass finds Mark McKee. McKee forced back by Callum Maycock, and Peter Vincente will try to intercept the pass, but Jack King just got there before him. for Stevenage, and now Joe Martin on the left for Stevenage, level with the Sky Blues penalty area, moving towards the byline, tries to get across, and it's blocked by Jordan Willis. But Stevenage get a corner. It's from these, and they have been at their most dangerous. This is their 4th corner.
It's a shame Vincenti just couldn't get there just a little bit quicker, because the Sky Blues had 2 players forward then and just the 1 defender back.
Joe Martin, it's another good delivery, and Burge got a little bit of a touch onto it to get it away. But again, they do look a threat from these corners. They have it on the right wing. The cross in from Tom Pett, headed towards goal, but good defending there. It was, I think, Rod McDonald who got up there for the Sky Blues. The ball comes loose, and Mark McNulty races back from the halfway line to collect it for Coventry. Peter Vincenti plays it forward, doesn't find a Sky Blues shirt though, but then Stevenage kick it straight into touch for a Sky Blue throw. Mansfield now 4-0 up against Port Vale. Kane Hemmings scoring their latest goal, so they're heading for a victory.
Vincenti did really well then to find that, get the ball before it went out for a throw into Stevenage, and then he picked up the ball to McNulty as well, which was great play by Vincenti.
Another Stevenage player needs treatment.
Of course, the injury time is going to be...
Yes, it's going to be quite a lot of the old stoppage time at the end for Sky. Like maybe they'll have it wrapped up by then and we can enjoy it.
So.
It would be nice, but it's 1-0 at the moment. The Sky Blues lead, and that goal from Mark McNulty.
See you in Burger King.
Mark McNulty with the goal from the corner. It's actually one of their more dangerous players, Matt Godden, who's limping off for the time being. Don't know whether he's going to need to be replaced, but Leeton Town still lead by 2-1 at Bromsgrove in the Birmingham Senior Cup. Matt Godden goes off for treatment, and the Sky Blues kick the ball a little aimlessly into the Stevenage half. It's collected by Stevenage. McKee, a good pressing from the Sky Blues here. It's forced Stevenage to play it back to their keeper, who does get a good kick on the ball into the Sky Blues half. Rod McDonald and Tom Davis went for the same, or rather Jordan Willis and Tom Davis went for the same ball there and collided, but they just about managed to get the ball away. Back with Stevenage again. Ronnie Henry with the long ball towards the edge of the penalty area. That's headed away by Tom Davis, and Davis will have to clear again after Vincenti is robbed, and then a late tackle on Tom Davis. That's a free kick to Coventry City.
That should be a booking, because he just raised his arm as he went into the challenge and caught Davis, I think, side of his head with his elbow. Davis
gingerly getting on his feet. Meanwhile, substitution for Stevenage, and it is Matt Godden who's coming off, been replaced by a pretty experienced player in Chris Whelpdale, summer signing from Wimbledon. One promotion from League 2 with both Gillingham and Peterborough. He last played against Coventry back in the Championship days in March 2010 for Peterborough. So he comes on for them, and full substitution for them. The Sky Blues have been forced into 2 substitutions themselves, with Jody Jones and Liam Kelly both picking up injuries. They lead by a 1-0, and Stevenage with Pett hits the ball high in the air. It's intercepted by Callum Maycock. Now McKee for Stevenage inside his own half. Vincenti having his shirt pulled there, battling for it. Widd gets a good tackle. He's penalised for the tackle, and that's slightly too robust for the referee's liking, and that's a free kick for Stevenage.
I think you called it right in the commentary. It was a good tackle.
Well, I think he should have had a free kick himself in the first place. I'll say that, because his shirt was certainly being tugged, which might have been on the blind side of the referee, but not the assistant. But he didn't get it. Anyway, it's a free kick to Stevenage. Still just the 1 goal for the Sky Blues, leading by a 0-0. Jordan Shipley with a boot upfield, flicked on by Max Biamo. Mark McNulty tries to turn on the ball, does well there. McNulty brings the ball down, plays it for Biamo. Biamo, first time shot. Keeper makes a decent save. Doyle trying to follow up, and the ball's scrambled out for a Sky Blues throw. Good work from the 2 forwards, McNulty and Biamo. Biamo pointed to exactly where he wanted the ball. McNulty played it there. Biamo got the shot in, the keeper at full stretch.
Yeah, it's a tight angle for Biamo, but he picked out the right shot across the face of the goal. It was just nipped inside that far post, but the goalie made a good save.
Still looking.
It's a shame no one was coming in quickly to get there for the rebound.
Throw in. It's headed away. Biamo still looking for his first league goal for the Sky Blues. Scored the Checker Trade Trophy. It's a throw into Coventry City inside the Stevenage half. That's where they want to be. They protect this lead. A chance perhaps of a third consecutive away league win, but they lose the ball there. 20 minutes of normal time to go. Factor in a good 5 minutes of stoppage time at least, I would think. Swindon have conceded an equaliser at Grimsby. It's Grimsby 2, Swindon 2. Blackburn are now 4-1 up against Oxford in League One. So Swindon at the moment dropping a couple of points. They're just above the Sky Blues in the table. Sky Blues on course to move above them at the moment. However, Stevenage now trying to attack, and the ball's with Tom Pett on the left-hand side, and Pett into the penalty area. There's danger here. His cross is overhit and will go out for a goal kick to the Sky Blues. So there's a chance there for Stevenage to create something. The cross not well hit.
Yeah, better cross, and Sky Blues could have been in a bit of bother, but Pett just overhit it too high as well, and the Sky Blues end up with a goal kick.
Sky Blues supporters fairly quiet behind that goal now, perhaps a little anxious, a little nervous. Haven't had the attendance figure yet. But, a lot of Sky Blues fans having made this midweek journey. That one does get caught in the breeze. I think it's a breeze that comes and goes a bit, and Lee Burge just about got to the halfway line with that, and Jordan Willis is forced to kick the ball over the stand roof and out for a throw into Stevenage. I have a throw with Joe Martin to take it. He gets the ball back on the left hand side, plays a 1-2 with Tom Pett. Martin into the penalty area, not a great ball, and Tom Davis was there to clear. Sky Blues have Max Biamo up front, but too many defenders there, he can't get the ball, and Stevenage now trying to break down the right hand side. It's a good ball in towards the edge of the penalty area, and Tom Davis clears, gets caught again. A good clearance as the ball was played towards Jonathan Smith. Throw into Stevenage. Throw in to Stevenage. The Sky Blue supporters asking for the Stevenage goalkeeper to give him a wave, but he hasn't obliged so far. It's a throw into Stevenage on the halfway line. Sunderland have got one back against Aston Villa in the Championship, 2-1 there. Now to Villa. Chris Coleman's first game in charge of Sunderland. Throw in halfway inside the Sky Blues half for Stevenage. And Doyle makes a challenge to win the ball. Biamo trying to get it as well, but Stevenage managed to keep it. The referee signaling an advantage to Stevenage. Oh, and Vincente just failing to intercept the pass once again, and now comes in and makes a decent tackle, and the ball goes out for a Stevenage throw.
Vincente working hard in that wide right position for the Sky Blues.
Yeah, coming on because of the injury to Jody Jones. And now Stevenage with a cross from the left-hand side. Oh, it's danger here, and Lee Burge lands on the ball just in front of the goal line with two Stevenage forwards threatening to get on the end of it. They just didn't have the killer touch there, Stevenage, and the Sky Blues survive.
The Stevenage player attacking it just didn't really get enough on the ball to cause any real problems for Lee Burge. It was straight at him, and he could just dive on it and kill the danger at that time. But I've had enough of this. We need the Sky Blues goal, don't we?
Well, it'd be nice. They've got a free kick. Rather unnecessary conceded. Rob McDonald with a push. Accrington Stanley lead Wickham by 1-0. Potentially for Sky Blues above Wickham, but does put Accrington further ahead of them. In the Championship, Fulham are 4-2 up against Sheffield United. And the ball is played towards the Stevenage penalty area, but hoofed clear. Comes back again, and it might come here for the Sky Blues. Shot from Jordan Shipley. I didn't quite get hold of it. Out for a goal kick to Stevenage.
Polite applause from the City fans, but really need to be on target. Just sat up nicely for him for the left foot volley.
Yeah, kick from Joe Fryer, the Stevenage keeper. Rob McDonald slightly misjudging the header, and ended up having to lean backwards and just head the ball high in the air. Now Michael Doyle battling for it, can't keep it in. He has a go at Ryan Haynes there as the ball goes out for a Stevenage throw. Well, Ryan Haynes, he was getting it from Mark Robbins in the first half, just down in front of us. Now he's getting it from Michael Doyle. It's Stevenage on the left with Martin, Joe Martin on the left. Plays the ball in towards the edge of the penalty area. Here is Haynes, who gets it half away. The shot comes in. There's a chance here. And they've scored. The equaliser for Stevenage comes from Tom Pett. And the shot initially from substitute Alex Samuel was half blocked. And it ran kindly for Stevenage, and Pett was able to blast it to the top of the net. And the Sky Blues pay for not getting that second goal. Stevenage are level. Stevenage 1, Coventry City 1.
Well, Michael Doyle, the City captain, was intense with a couple of defenders then, as they let the players steal in on the blind side, knock it forward into the penalty area, and they're able to finish it off. And the Sky Blues now, because the momentum is certainly with the home side, got it back to 1-1, and they will fancy their chances.
Well, the Sky Blues pegged back, and they can see the throw in here. Tottenham now 2-0 against Borussia Dortmund. They come from behind. Son's got their second goal in the Champions League. Forest lead Norwich 1-0 in the Championship. We have, we've played 31 minutes in the second half, so probably about 20 minutes when you had the stoppage time. Here's Callum Maycock for the Sky Blues. Good ball to Jordan Shipley. Shipley now, can the Sky Blues respond quickly? Here's Vincenti on the right hand side. Gets a cross in, it's blocked, comes to Shipley. Shipley from outside the area, out to Ryan Haynes. Haynes, is he fouled? Yes he is. The ball ran away from Haynes. The defender dived in, caught Haynes. Free kick just around the corner of the penalty area on the left.
Really poor control initially by Haynes, but he got away with it. I think Stevenage will feel a bit hard done to by the awarding of a free kick then, because I think he'd lost control of the ball.
Well, no Jody Jones, of course, now on the pitch for the Sky Blues. Michael Doyle is going to take this free kick. Two-man wall. It will probably be a cross. Every Stevenage man is defending the free kick. Maycock available if he wants to square it to him and try a shot. He's walking slowly forwards. Every Stevenage player is inside the penalty area. Referee watching for any pushing and shoving. Got to be careful they don't concede a cheap free kick here. The Sky Blues forwards. Referee blows his whistle. Doyle does square, doesn't get it right there. Shipley turns and shoots, and well, it was, I think, a pre-planned idea. Shipley came out of the penalty area, and Doyle did find him, but Shipley couldn't get enough power behind the shot. It was straight to the keeper. And now at the other end, the Sky Blues have got to be careful as the ball's lobbed forward. Lee was an offside flag. Lee Burge got to it anyway. The referee's playing an advantage. And it remains 1-1, but either side could still win this. Jordan Willis for Coventry City, halfway inside his own half. Willis hits it high down the left-hand side. Vincente goes for it. It's headed out for a Sky Blues throw.
Sky Blues at 1-0. Certainly in the second half had a handful of really good chances which they weren't able to capitalise on, and at the moment they're paying the penalty for that.
Here's Willis, plays it back into his own half to Tom Davis. Davis, square ball to Rob McDonald. McDonald out to the left to Ryan Haynes. Haynes, little touch to Shipley. Shipley back to Haynes. Back to McDonald on the left hand side. McDonald forward. Biamo touch to Shipley. Back to Biamo. Forced backwards. It's back to the halfway line for Doyle. Still Coventry City have it. Jordan Willis for the Sky Blues. Floats it forward. Looking for McNulty. Just over. Goes over his head and is collected by the goalkeeper. Well, will the Sky Blues settle for a point now, or can they win it? Point would be a decent enough result as long as they followed it with a home win against Crawley. Punt upfield from the keeper, catches the breeze and goes straight out for a goal kick. Luton are now 3-0 up against Carlisle. Newport lead Barnet by a goal to 0. So some of the leading teams are doing well. Ben Turner, the former Sky Blues defender, scored for Burton. They 1-1 at Brentford. Another Stevenage player is going to require treatment. Goodness knows how much stoppage time is going to have to be played. And quite a few players have received treatment during the course of this second half. 1-1 here then. Sky Blues ahead at half time through Mark McNulty. They've conceded in the second half and not quite managed to keep a clean sheet. Second away game in a row, they haven't done that actually. In fact, third match in a row they haven't kept a clean sheet. Something they pride themselves in. But Haven't managed it the last few games. Championship latest, Preston 2-0 up against Bristol City. Still Stevenage player receiving treatment. It's Tom Pett. He's heading off temporarily, I think. They've already used 2 of their substitutes. Stevenage. That's the end of all that. A goal kick to Coventry City. We've got 10 minutes of normal time to go, but could be a fair amount of stoppage time. Lee Burge doesn't make a really good contact on that kick, and it's headed back, and Jordan Willis has to race and chase it and opts for safety and kicks it into the dugouts for a throw into Stevenage inside the Sky Blues half. Tough one for the Sky Blues if they were to lose this, having come from behind to win last weekend. They don't want the opposite happening here. Vincenti with an interception there, but can't find a Sky Blues player, and it's Stevenage. They've kicked it straight out for a Sky Blues throw. Exeter now 3-1 down at Crawley. They're going through a just sticky patch. Exeter in the among the top 5 teams. They're trailing 3-1 at Crawley. Of course, the Sky Blues play at the weekend. Throw in down the line from Jordan Willis is flicked on by Peter Vincente. Might come back from Vincente. Callum Maycott battling for it as well. It goes out for a throw in to Stevenage inside their own half on the left. Joe Martin to take it. Throw in down the line, and it's headed forward by Doyle and headed on here. Then Rob McDonald has to head it back to his keeper, and then Lee Burge comes out quickly and gathers. Burge with a punt, left-footed, and that's headed straight out for a Sky Blues throw, just in front of the Sky Blues dugout, just inside the Stevenage half on the Sky Blues right. Jordan Willis throws it back to Tom Davis. Davis squares it to Rod McDonald. McDonald finds Michael Doyle. Doyle forward to McNulty. McNulty back to goal, couldn't quite control it, and it's scrambled away. Headed away now by Stevenage, and it's one in the air well by Davis, who looked like the player was making a back for him, but Stevenage players stay down. The referee's concerned enough to yet again call on the physio. And Notts County have conceded an equaliser at Yeovil. Yeovil 1, Notts County 1. Chesterfield lead Forest Green 3-1 now. The Championship, Fulham are 5-2 up against Sheffield United. As things stand, the Sky Blues will still climb a place to 6th, but they would be 6 points behind the top 3. With a draw here, Accrington and Luton both winning in the top 3. Notts County were, but they're now level. So the Stevenage player is okay, and it will be a drop ball.
I wonder if Robbins is just tempted perhaps to give Ponticelli 10 minutes at the end. No sign of anyone warming up. But,
yeah, he might be a bit concerned that he's already used 2 of his substitutions. Ball's bowled out here to King for Stevenage. Plays it to Martin. Martin now moving towards the halfway line. Martin, unchallenged, is able to make progress. Now plays it down the left channel, but Tom Davis is quickly across, lets the ball roll out. It did hit, I think it was Willis on the way down that left channel, so it is a corner to Stevenage. And that's always a hold your breath moment for the Sky Blues, because their corners have been good. Not that they've scored from one so far, but Joe Martin with this corner on the left. Left-footed, and he is headed towards goal, but there was a Sky Blues defender. Tom Davis, I think, got his head to it, and the ball is cleared long, and it might come from McNulty. He's on his own at the moment. McNulty with 2 defenders. Jordan Shipley now up in support. Oh, McNulty has found him. Shipley volleys it. Oh, it's just over the bar. Oh, it's a decent effort. McNulty did really well. Shipley hit it first time and struck it well, but just over the bar and out for a goal kick.
Great awareness by Mark McNulty then. Had the pace to get to the ball first, had a look up and put it a perfect pass to Jordan Shipley, and he really should have hit the target from where he was. Just 5 minutes or so to go in the game, and that could have been so crucial to the Sky Blues.
And there's a shot from distance there suddenly from Stevenage, from Tom Pett, but Lee Burge, not from Tom, but Danny Newton in fact. Lee Burge was equal to it. Swindon are now losing. They're 3-2 down at Grimsby. They were 2-1 up at one stage. Long punt upfield from Burge. McNulty battling for it. Defenders struggling here. McNulty's still going. Oh, but he just couldn't force the ball in. He eventually got past the defender, but he was falling himself and couldn't get a clean contact on the ball, and the keeper was able to gather it. Sky Blues close twice there to regaining the lead. It's got the Sky Blues fans going behind that goal. And the ball is inside the Sky Blues half. Alex Samuel out to the left hand side. Tom Pett. Still, you feel either side could win this game. Pett's cross is cleared by Davis. Picked up by Stevenage again. Out on the right hand side with Ronnie Henry. And he gives it to Mark McKee. And now plays it to there's a good tackle comes in there, and a foul. The referee's played an advantage as Michael Doyle makes a tackle to deny Chris Whelpdale. And now it's Ryan Haynes forward. He's caught late, and the referee this time gives the free kick to the Sky Blues. He actually might have played an advantage there, but the Sky Blues probably grateful for the breather. But they've come close, probably looking the more likely of the two, although either side might yet win it. 1-1 it remains. A free kick from Rob McDonald, headed on by Biamo. McNulty back to goal, tries to steer it into Biamo's path, can't quite manage it. Michael Doyle's header doesn't find Callum Maycock, and it's Tom Pett on the halfway line for Stevenage. Plays it down the left wing. Davis quickly across, makes a good solid challenge. Throw into Stevenage halfway inside the Sky Blues half. 3 minutes of normal time to go. Must be at least 6 or 7 minutes of stoppage time, I would have thought. Vincente penalised for a foul. And that's a free kick halfway inside the Sky Blues half. Sky Blues can't afford to give away free kicks in attacking positions. Joe Martin has a chance now to get this ball into the edge of the Sky Blues penalty area and cause mayhem. Martin stands over the ball like a rugby player about to kick a penalty. Kicks it left-footed, and Burge gets a good punch on it. In fact, the assistant referee has spotted an offside, so it wouldn't have mattered, but it was a good punch from Lee Burge. In the Champions League, Manchester City have taken the lead against Feyenoord. Late on, Raheem Sterling has scored it. Man City 1, Feyenoord 0. Morecambe 0, Crewe 1 in League 2. Sky Blues 1-1 here at Stevenage. It's just over 2 minutes of normal time to go. Adrian Vivash having a chat with the fourth official, perhaps just checking how much time there is left. Would Mark Robbins be tempted to throw on Jordan Ponticelli just for a few minutes? Perhaps be reluctant to do so because he's already used 2 of his substitutions, both enforced by injuries. But the Sky Blues have now conceded a throw-in deep inside their own half.
Clearly that was a Sky Blues throw-in that the Stevenage attacker headed it out.
The throw-in's going to be long from Chris Whelpdale. Whelpdale with a throw into the penalty area. It's headed away by Vincente, and McNulty could break it for the Sky Blues. 2 defenders back. Jordan Shipley up in support. McNulty plays it to Shipley. Shipley back into McNulty's path, but it's well anticipated by Ronnie Henry. But then a poor clearance from the keeper, and Callum Maycock is onto that. Maycock out onto the right wing. Tries to get across and it's blocked. It'll go out for a Sky Blues throw by the corner flag on their right. Can the Sky Blues make something of this? Jordan Willis goes over to take it. A minute of normal time to go. How this goal will be celebrated, the Sky Blues could find it right in front of their own supporters. Willis with the throw. In it goes, it's flicked on by Biamo, but then cleared by Danny Newton. And Rob McDonald has to race back. He's in his own half, he'll collect the ball. He's got time, and he accelerates forward and plays it eventually to Michael Doyle. Doyle to Tom Davis. Davis now forward towards the penalty area. That's overhit. Looks like Crawley are going to make a substitution before we finish. Punt upfield from Crawley, very direct, but straight into the hands of Lee Burge for Stevenage, I beg your pardon. And Lee Burge Sky Blues keeper now kicks it back into the Stevenage half. Up goes Jordan Shipley. It's cleared by Tom Pett, who's now moved out to the right wing, having been on the left. And Rob McDonald, well, he tried to shepherd the ball out, he ended up playing it out for a throw in right level with the penalty area. Stevenage to make their substitution then. And Tom Pett is coming off. And he gets a round of applause. And he's replaced by Tom Conlon. 7 minutes of stoppage time to be played. No great surprise there. And the Sky Blues start it defending a long throw-in from level with their penalty area on the right-hand side.
Mark Robbins is calling one of the substitutes, I think, forward.
And they've conceded a corner. He'll certainly wait till after the corner as Ryan Haynes knocks it out for a corner. It is Stevenage's, I think, 5th corner. On the right-hand side, it is going to be Jordan Ponticelli who's going to come on for the Sky Blues. Can he be the hero? Right now, they've got to defend this corner. Let's hope Ponticelli isn't chasing an equaliser when he comes on. Corner on the right-hand side. And it's floating. That was actually a poor one for once from Stevenage, and it's got away from the Sky Blues. Here's McNulty. McNulty, a little touch on for Doyle. Doyle plays it for Max Biamo to chase down the left-hand side. He gets a header onto it, goes down to challenge. The referee saw nothing wrong with it. And Stevenage have it inside their own half. Nearly 2 minutes of the 7 stoppage time to be played. And they'd like to get Ponticelli on, but they have to wait, of course, till the ball's gone out. Long ball over the top from Stevenage. And Lee Burge comes out of his penalty area, slightly miscues it, gets it high in the air, so he's got plenty of time to get back to his goal. Stevenage try and win it again. Ryan Haynes in there. He hits it high in the air. That hangs in the breeze. McNulty brings it down. Here's Vincente for the Sky Blues inside his own half. Short pass to Doyle. First time to Shipley. Shipley crosses the halfway line. He's got Haynes outside him. Gives it to Ryan Haynes. Haynes level with the penalty area. Continues to go forward. Moves towards the byline. His cross. And did that come off the defender? No, it didn't. Goes out for a goal kick. But now they can get Jordan Ponticelli on for the Sky Blues. And he will have approximately, 4.5 minutes to make an impression. Liverpool have conceded 3 goals in the second half to be 3-3 in Sevilla now. Daniel Guy, the former Sky Blues loanee, has scored for Walsall. They lead Fleetwood by 4 goals to 2. It's now Sheffield United 3, Fulham 5, not Leon Clark for that particular goal. Sky Blues at 1-1 here. Still want to win the game, the Sky Blues. I think they'll be too upset with a point, but they'd love to get all 3, especially having been ahead at half time. Jordan Shipley with a high ball. Max Biamo gives chase. Keeper hesitates. Oh, and the pass back. Biamo anticipated the headed pass back, but it was executed well enough for Biamo not to be able to reach it. And a silly free kick giveaway. No, the referee he to put his whistle to his mouth, was not given the free kick to Stevenage, who then give the ball away in midfield. And then Jordan Shipley does catch his man. That will be a free kick on the far side for Stevenage. We're halfway through the 7 minutes of stoppage time now. Barnes have equalised against Newport. Newport just behind the contenders at the moment. Forest Green Rovers have got one back against Chesterfield. They're still 3-2 down. Manchester City have beaten Feyenoord by 1-0. It's a free kick to Stevenage. We've still got approximately 3 minutes of stoppage time to be played, but there really won't be much chance to get back if the Sky Blues concede. And this free kick is just inside their half. Adrian Vivac has had a conversation with the 4th official, which has ended with both of them grinning. Anyway, the free kick is chipped into the penalty area. Oh, it's missed. The first header's missed. There's a scramble. Half-hearted handball appeals. Vincente gets it away as far as the halfway line. It's played back, though, by Stevenage towards the edge of the area. Headed across the area. Ryan Haynes gets a header onto it. Still not away from the Sky Blues. Maycock gets it half away. It comes back again. And eventually, Jordan Willis has to head it out for a corner. He appeals vainly for an offside. And the Sky Blues concede a corner on the left-hand side And this would be calamity if the Sky Blues were to concede now with just 2 minutes of stoppage time to be played. In goes the corner. Lee Burch stays on his line. It's a half a header there from Davis and eventually cleared by the Sky Blues, and Ponticelli tries to get on the end of the ball, but it's back with Stevenage, who found Marsh in plenty of space on the left wing. His cross, and Burch drops it, but he's fouled. He landed on the Stevenage forward. The referee decides he was fouled. I think Haynes would have got it away anyway. It's a free kick to the Sky Blues.
Good, brave goal given by Lee Burge. He must have known he's likely to get out with battering as he went out there just the edge of his 6-yard box. Didn't hesitate at all. Did get a punch to it, but it was slightly weaker than he hoped because he was fouled.
Leon Clark continues to be in the goals. This could be the hat-trick for Sheffield United. They're 5-4 down against Fulham. Newport now trail at home to Barnet by 2-1, and Swindon have lost at Grimsby. Throw into Stevenage. We got a minute of stoppage time to be played still. I think now the Sky Blues would probably take the point, even though they have threatened a second goal at times, but they're on the defensive now. And the ball is headed out for a Stevenage throw. They've got a chance to get one more long throw into the Sky Blues penalty area. And Sky Blues have got to be resolute here. 4 points from 2 away games would be a good return, but they need to defend this throw in, which lofts high into the penalty area. It's headed away by Vincente. It's lobbed back in again, and Burge under pressure, and he does get the foul. I thought for a minute the referee wasn't going to give him one as the ball bounced just towards the far post, and the Sky Blues survive, and that should be, you would think, the points shared here at Stevenage. 0345 905 200 for your reaction to the action. You can text 81333, cite your message CW, tweet us at BBC Cov Sport. Might the Sky Blues manage one more attack? Michael Doyle plays it out to Vincente. Vincente forward for Jordan Ponticelli to chase. Defenders there as well, but defended as well. And Marshall out for a goal kick. Goal kick to Stevenage. And this might be the last kick of the game. We've played 7 minutes of stoppage time now. The referee's looked at both watches. And the kick into the Sky Blues half. And there goes the full-time whistle. It's a draw in the end for the Sky Blues. They were ahead at half-time through Mark McNulty from the corner. They had chances to go 2 up, weren't able to take them. Conceded to Tom Pett in the second half. Had chances again maybe to win it late on, but have had to settle for a point. 1-1, it's finished here. 0345 905 200 for your reaction to the action. You can text 81333, start your message CW, tweet us at BBC Cov Sport. It is finished. Stevenage 1, Coventry City 1. Here are the thoughts of Jeff Foster.
Well, in the end, the Sky Blues will probably feel they missed a chance there of getting a good away win, making it 3 on the trot. 1-0 up at half time, and they came out strongly at the start of the second half and created 3 or 4 good chances, particularly one when they were 3-on-1 running at the defence, but they just didn't quite have the nous to the creativity to cause Stevenage any real problems. And in the end, it was the home side who were pushing the Sky Blues, who were put under a lot of pressure at the back, but Lee Burge and the defence held firm, and the Sky Blues, again, like you say, 4 points from 2 away games. That's not too bad for them, but they will, I think, look back and think this is a game that they could have nicked all 3 points.
0345 905 200 is the number to call. You can text 81333, start your message CW, tweet us at BBC Cov Sport. The Sky Blues have had to settle for a point in the end. It's finished 1-1. It leaves them a little bit further behind the top 3, but does gain them a place, or possibly a place or 2 in the table. 0345 905 200 is the number to call. Text 81333, start your message CW, tweet us at BBC Cov Sport. It's the Sky Blues phone in on BBC Coventry and Warwickshire. And
Weekday mornings with Vic Minette. We get going with the phone in at 9, and the stories you share are just brilliant.
Not one of my favourite names.
Barry? What's wrong with a Barry?
Oh, I told my oldest son he was nearly going to be Barry. He said, I'm glad I was.
Oh, what did you go for instead?
Gary with just one R.
Vic Minette on BBC Coventry and Warwickshire. That's my favourite. Go in there. You bring the stories, I'll bring the tunes, and I'll see you tomorrow morning at 9.
0345 905 200. The Sky Blues having to settle in the end for a 1-1 draw, which leaves them 6th in League 2. They do climb a place above Wickham, but they are now 6 points behind the top 3. Let's go through the League 2 scores. It's just trying to get those up here for you. The League 2 score. So Accrington beat Wickham by a goal to 0. That's why the Sky Blues move above Wickham, but they do lose 2 points on third place Accrington. So they're 6 points behind them now. Cheltenham 0, Cambridge 0 is the latest. Chesterfield 3, Forest Green Rovers 2. Colchester 1, Lincoln City 0. So the Sky Blues gain on Lincoln. Crawley 3, Exeter 1. Exeter now 4th place, just 2 points above the Sky Blues. And Grimsby 3, Swindon 2. The Sky Blues now just 1 point behind Swindon in 5th place. They have closed on a couple of teams above them. Luton 3, Carlisle 0. So Luton now top of the table on goal difference from Notts County, who are 2-1 down now at home to Barnet. Still a latest score, but it's Notts County 1. Barnet 2, which is sorry, I beg you, I'm reading the wrong score. What am I talking about? Notts County have drawn 1-1 at Yeovil. Forgive me, it's Newport who are 2-1 down at home to Barnet. So it's Newport 1, Barnet 2, that's the latest. Port Vale 0, Mansfield 4. Mansfield now in the top 7. Expecting them to climb the table, and they are. Still behind the Sky Blues on goal difference. It's Yeovil 1, Notts County 1. So the Sky Blues stay the same number of points behind Notts County, i.e. 7. Let's go to the lines on 0345 905 200 and talk to Juggy. Hi, Juggy.
Hi, how you doing, mate?
I'm good.
4-4 game, I thought, tonight. I'm not sure how bad the injury is to Jody Jones. Obviously, you lads don't know either. This is interesting to find out at the end. But, you take Jones and Moss on out that team, and there's not a lot of cut and thrust there. I mean, we saw on Saturday in the second half, if we run at teams and we, cause them problems through just basically getting the ball on the ground and running at them, that's the way to beat teams. And today, he couldn't